Hi, good to be with you today for these continued meditations. Just a quick announcement. This weekend is World Communion Weekend. We celebrate communion. We celebrate the Lord's meal with our brothers and sisters around the world. And at least for me, it's a very moving experience to realize that in that moment, all are participating. So we continue to walk with Jesus as Jesus makes his way to Jerusalem, as Jesus continues to teach his disciples and teaches them some hard things to hear. In this week's lectionary reading, we're in Luke, we're in the 17th chapter. And as they're walking, the apostles look to Jesus and they say, "Increase our faith." And at least in the New Revised Standard Version, there's an exclamation point there. That the apostles have this great need, or they perceive a great need to have more faith. That they see Jesus accomplishing much and they realize they cannot do the same. So they ask Jesus to increase their faith. First thing Jesus says to the apostles is, if you had faith the size of a mustard seed, you could tell this mulberry tree to jump in a lake. One, the question is, to what purpose does that faith work? And I think that's part of Jesus' point. If you're looking for a faith of power, that's not the purpose. If you're looking for a faith that just makes miraculous things happen regardless, that's not going to work. That's not the purpose. So then after Jesus tells them that, he tells them this story about a master and a servant. It's a story about expectations. It's a story about accountability. So what do we make out of all that, right? All of us have this yearning for faith, more faith, right? If we just had more, we could do more. If we just had more faith, I'd have more assurance. If I just had more faith, we'd have kids crawling out of the woodwork here in the church. That's not how it works. Jesus is trying to tell us how faith works. And what the purpose is. Faith is not what you think, right? Faith is not having the right beliefs. Faith is not just believing that you can do things. That's not faith. That's belief, and that's of the head. Jesus tells us faith is a relationship. The faith is not yours alone, that it comes together. The faith is this relationship with Jesus. But it's also in relationship with other people because Jesus is also in relationship with other people. Jesus, I think, is telling us that you already have what you need. You already have faith. Now the trick is to use that faith for the right purposes. And the faith is in this relationship, right? The power comes not in our faith, but the power comes in our collective faith. The faith is this mutual forbearance with one another, this mutual trust with one another, this mutual living with one another. Because I agree with the apostles, if we relied on our faith alone, there's not much we could do. But if we can bring our faiths together, if we can share our faith and live our faith, then there's not much we can't do. My peace. We'll see you soon.